Hello everyone and welcome to Pay-Per-Click Advertising Part 3. Today we are learning about keyword selection. But before we start, let's just refresh your memory and see how we structured our campaign last time. Last time we supposed that we are running a furniture business, and the furniture business would have two divisions. One for the home furniture, and so we created one separate campaign for the home furniture, and that campaign actually consisted of two sub-campaigns, or the way Google calls it, two ad groups. One, living room furniture, and the second one, kitchen and dining furniture. Similarly, our company, our hypothetical company, has the office furniture line, and within the office furniture line we have two separate lines of products like office desks and office chairs. So what we have done when creating Google AdWords campaign, we have created campaign 1 and campaign 2, and within each campaign we have two ad groups to start with. So let me just show you one more time. I'm gonna go to ad group 1, living room furniture, and as you can see here we have our ad, living room furniture, www, some hypothetical URL, furnitureexample.com. That's not a real URL. And then with the line modern furniture for your home, 100% wood products, call us today. Later on we are going to talk about tips and rules how to create a powerful ad. But today actually we are going to study which keywords are perfect keywords, ideal keywords which will give us most business. So in our hypothetical examples we use living room furniture, we also use living room sets and living room cabinets. However, I have to say that I chose those keywords that were on top of my mind. However, I didn't do any research, and now I have to give you some general rules how to select keywords and phrases for powerful campaigns on Google AdWords. Before we start, however, let me bring to your attention that we have already covered the tool called Keyword Planner when we talked about top 10 online marketing research tools, part 5. So from minutes 4 to 11, we explained that tool number 1, the most effective tool for keyword research. And once you view this presentation one more time, it will become much more clear how you can choose the most effective and the most efficient keywords. So now I'm going to introduce 4 rules of keyword selection. Rule number 1, select phrases with higher search volume, lower cost, and lower competition. Once again, we want more people to be searching for our products and services, yet we want to pay less and we want to have a lower competition. So for example, which of the two phrases would you choose when advertising? Office desk, number 1, or number 2, office desks? Well, obviously it's hard to say, but with the research we can make more informed decision. We see that for number 1 we have search volume 301,000 people who searched for the term office desk last month only, and we have a medium competition and we would have to pay $2.39, versus number 2, office desks, we would have slightly more people searching for the same term, office desks, yet we would have higher competition and we would have to pay $3.19. So let's stop for a moment, and what do you think? Which one of the two is the winner? Would you choose office desk, number 1, or office desks, number 2? Well, the winner is number 1, office desk. At least that's the one that I would choose. We see that we have kind of similar search volume, yet we have lower competition and we would have to pay less money. So let me now show you how I learned those numbers. First of all, I'm back in my Google AdWords account. Oh, I have yet to activate this account. This is just a demo, and I'm gonna click on Tools, Keyword Planner, and this time I'm gonna use Search for New Keyword and Ad Group Ideas. I'm gonna enter Office Desk and Office Desks, both phrases. I want to compare them. I'm going to target all locations, all languages, Google and search partners. Click on Get Ideas. Then I'm going to go to Keyword Ideas tab for the time being. And here I have the two phrases and many more, 800 different phrases. But those two, as you can see, these are the numbers that I showed you a few seconds ago, and the winner is Office Desk. So this was really rule number one: select phrases with higher search volume, lower cost, and lower competition. And now the rule number two: be targeted. In other words, be specific as much as you can. Be focused. For example, using Office Desk as a phrase is better than just desk. Why is that? What do you think? Well, actually, desk is too generic, too broad, and you don't really want to spend and waste your money on everyone who searches for various desks. You do want to spend money on those people who are searching for Office Desk. That's exactly the product that you have. Maybe even you want to use phrase like modern Office Desk or wooden Office Desk or large Office Desk, if that describes what you do. So once again, don't use one-word phrases like desk. It's much better to be more targeted, more specific, think long tail, and to use two-word phrases, maybe three-word phrases, or even four-word phrases such as Office Desk or large Office Desk. So once again, remember to be targeted. Rule number two. And now the third rule of an effective keyword selection: use proper keyword match. Well, actually there are three types of matches. They're called exact, phrase, and broad search. Let me explain. Actually, keyword match types help control which searches can trigger your ad. So you have certain degree of control whether or not your ad will show if people search for your search term. If you use, for example, exact match, your ad will only show if someone searched exactly for your search term. In other words, if you, for example, specify Office Desk, okay, and note that you need to use these square brackets to specify exact search. So if you specify exactly Office Desk, your ad will only show if someone has searched exactly for the term Office Desk, and that's it. So only those people who search for Office Desk will see your ad. And remember to use square brackets when specifying the search term. On the contrary, when using the second type of match, which is phrase match, your ad will also show if someone has searched for example for best Office Desk or cheap Office Desk or even for free Office Desk, just because you specified Office Desk, which is part of the larger phrase best Office Desk or cheap Office Desk or free Office Desk. So remember, your phrase Office Desk is part of a bigger phrase. And remember to use actually these quotation marks. Okay? That is how you will tell Google that you want phrase match. Finally, we also have so-called broad match, which is even more flexible, and your ad will show even more frequently, whether you want it or you don't. And your ad will show even if someone has searched, for example, for computer desks or for office chairs. I don't know if you want that, right? That's a big question. So to start with, I would recommend to use actually exact search, because you're going to be much more targeted and much more specific. You're going to be spending less money and you're going to be learning what keywords work and what keywords don't work. And before I forget, we don't use any brackets or quotation marks when specifying the broad match. So there are no brackets, no quotation marks. So now we know we have three types of matches. But let me see if you understood this actually. First of all, I have three questions for you. Question number one. If you specify office desk with these quotation marks, okay, and if someone searches for a white office desk, will your ad show? What do you think? What is the answer? The answer is yes. Your ad will show just because your phrase office desk is part of a bigger phrase white office desk. And the second question, if you specify exact search office desk, and if someone searches for white office desk, will your ad show? The answer is no. Just because you use exact match office desk. So you don't want any other people to see your ad. And finally, third question, if you specify office desk, remember I didn't use any quotation marks, any brackets, so that is a signal to Google that you want broad search. And if someone searches for home desk, will your ad show? What do you think? The answer is yes, just because Google thinks this is similar and this is related. And now let me introduce keyword rule number 4. But before I do, let me explain what this rule has to do with. Actually, it has to do with choosing appropriate keywords within one ad group. Like for example, we have ad group number 1, office desk. And the big question is, what keywords do we choose? We have office desk here, right? But what other keywords do we choose? Maybe like large office desk or what? So I want to add more terms in this particular ad group. And what is the rule here? That's where I introduce rule number 4. And this rule says that we should use tightly matching keywords within an ad group, or closely related keywords within an ad group. In other words, we should not be mixing apples and pears, or in our example, we should not be mixing office desk and office chair. So put apples in one ad group, many different types of apples, but still apples, and then put pears in another group. So here is an example. In the ad group called office desk, you might want to consider putting large office desks, modern office desks, wooden office desks, and similar. And this is where I want to introduce rule of 2 words plus. In other words, note office desk plus large office desks, modern office desks, wooden office desks, etc. So we call it rule of 2 words plus. That's how you ensure that you are still targeted, you are still being consistent, you're still being focused. It's always office desk, office desk, office desk, yet you add 1 or 2 more words. In order to add more words, I have actually did the research, office desks, get idea, and then turns out that I got 800 ideas here, right? Fortunately, some of those ideas, like for example kids desk, have nothing to do with my business. So after spending maybe 5-10 minutes, sometimes it's just a couple of minutes, I have found words like phrases like buy office desks, and also I found another word, large office desk. So I'm gonna note those 2 words and add them into my ad group called office desk. So now my new ad group has the words office desk, buy office desk, and large office desk. You might want to add 4, 5, anywhere up to say 10, but for the time being I'm gonna just keep focused on those 3, just as an experiment. However, you remember that we said that those keywords should be actually using exact match. So I'm gonna do that right away. Exact match. And now I'm following all of my 4 rules. And now let me see, I also did the same for office chairs, and I just need to change this to exact. And now I have my 3 words in the office chair ad group number 2. So that's ad group number 2, office chairs, and my 3 words. Note again how consistent I'm trying to be. Office chair, high back office chair, black office chair. Again, I'm repeating those words, office chair, here. So we now have our 4 rules. And the last one, use tightly matching keywords within an ad group. Now you might ask yourself, however, what is the importance of those 4 keyword rules? Why is that important? So I'm going to try to answer that. First of all, you can lower your advertising budget, in other words, spend less. And not only the total budget, but also cost per click. Google will actually reward you. If your conversion and click-through rate goes up, Google will reward you by charging you less per click. So your cost per click will actually go down. And remember that you are actually bidding for various phrases. The cost of each phrase is not set at a certain level. It depends on a bid level. It depends on how many people are bidding for that keywords, like on eBay, for example, when you are bidding for products. Also, it will lead to targeting better the right customers. You don't want to spend money on those people who are not your customers. And finally, it will help you improve the conversion rate, meaning the likelihood that people who click on your ad eventually become your customers. That's called conversion rate. So if you look at this, this is really about your money, and this is really about your profit. All those 3 really lead to more profit and more successful advertising on Google. So this is about keyword selection, but more tips are coming on how to successfully advertise through PPC, pay-per-click advertising model. Thank you for watching.